Hello, hello, hello. It is Christine Michelle, and we are going to be talking about jumping timelines today. Let me make sure everything is working. I'm going to test this audio and make sure it works. It is. It's working. All right. So, hello, hello, hello. This is Christine Michelle, and we are going to talk about jumping timelines. I did a video on this, and I am excited to go deeper on this today. I have 5 steps that you can do today, and you will start to see shifts in your timeline. What we're going to do is talk about the 5 steps. We're also going to break down the ways that you can quantum shift. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And so you are going to be able to tell the differences. Like you're going to be able to tell like how this shift gets to happen in your life and start to see these shifts. So come on in and join. I'm Christine Michelle. I am the frequency shifter, the energy lifter. People used to call me the vibration lifter and energy shifter. They still do, but I love that nickname. And what I focus on is helping women to quantum leap, helping women to create the business and the life that they love. And so today, what we are going to talk about is how to jump timelines. Now, I say jump timelines, but the is all timelines are available to you right now. So you're not jumping timelines, you're actually shifting timelines. And what does a shift in timeline look like? You actually do this all of the time. However, there is one thing that you continue to do that keeps your reality looking the exact same. And so we're going to talk about how to jump those timelines. Hello, Try the Tooth and Juliana, Quiet Grows. Welcome, welcome. We are going to, or I am going to show you what it looks like and what the 5 steps I do to shift the timeline. But the most important thing we're going to do is share this live out, get it into more hands, and then we will do the teaching. Y'all know I bring it when it comes to the teaching. Hello, House of Style, Josh, Paula, like welcome, welcome, welcome. Eva, Tio, or TLO, Tilo, Vanessa, just welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are going to talk about how to jump timelines. I have coached over 20,000 women over the last, I want to say about 13 years. And I've been able to see what keeps you in the same place and then what will help you to shift. Hello, Remedy Aesthetics. Hello, Ronald. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, hello. Okay, so I am going to turn 50 in 29 days. 50 and 29 days. I've had so many women come into my world because I've been doing this for a very long time. And there are some things that you are doing right now that makes you believe that you are on the same timeline, even if you've done some of the things that I'm going to list in these 5 steps. When you start to do them, and they're the easy steps, when you understand that you've been quantum jumping and quantum leaping and doing all of this the whole time, you are going to start to see why this is possible for you. So say hello, come and join. I really would love to just walk you step by step on what this actually looks like. Okay, so one of the things that is important is if you are wishing, if you are hoping that you can change, what you get to know is that no one is going to save you. No one is coming to save you. When I had to file for bankruptcy, and this was after I left my multiple 6-figure career, I had clients that were like thriving and doing amazing things. And I left a multiple 6-figure career. Hello, Miss Liz. Gen X Lisa. I left a multiple 6-figure career. This was about 13 years ago. I'll be 50 on March 21st. So that's in 29 days. And when I left, I wasn't I was being more of an employee than I was being an entrepreneur. If you guys can give me some hearts and share this live so we can get it out to more people, that would be amazing. Once we get to a certain number of likes, I'm going to start with the 5 steps. I'm going to break down these 5 steps for you. So when I left the corporate job, right? When I left the corporate environment, I was still being an employee, still, because I had been an employee for hello, Delilah, hello, Wayne, hello, Cody. I was being an employee because that was the mindset I had been in over 20 years, over 20 years. And so I had to shift the way I showed up. And in order to shift the way up, I had to make some changes similar to what I'm going to talk to you about jumping timelines. I had to make these shifts and I had to not look at the same thing over and over again. And so tell me what you're creating, manifesting, what you want, what success, what you want to experience in your life. Put it in the comments. I talk back and forth in the comments. I'm here for you. Hello, Lord. Hello, Wayne. Hello, Delilah. Hello, everyone that joined. Drop it in the comments. If you could give me some hearts and share this live out, I would forever be grateful, because this is going to get into more hands. Once we get to enough likes that will share this, then I will go through the 5 steps to quantum jump. So why me? Why am I the one to help you quantum jump your timelines? It is because I have been able to go from bankruptcy to creating a 7-figure business. And this wasn't, I believe in magic, I believe in miracles, but the actual steps, I like to break things down and make it very, very simple. Hello, Van Vibe Chronicles. I like to make things very, very simple so that you can actually take the notes and take the steps and move forward. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Folklore. So when I think about quantum jumping, it's not really you jumping. You're just shifting to a different timeline. Hello, Coach Love. When you shift to a different timeline, what does that look like? The main thing is because you're making different decisions and you're moving forward towards where you want to go. Hello, Dorothy Hayes. I'm Christine Hayes. Hello, Hayes. So definitely give me some likes, shares. Let's get this into hands of more people. Hello, Rich Girl Studio. And so if you knew that you were shifting timelines all of the time, then you would take away let's say it wouldn't be as hard in your mind to shift. You'd be like, I do this all the time. And so that's what I am going to show you. Hello, Eve. I am going to show you that you actually do shift timelines all of the time. Okay. And so one of the biggest things that keeps you on the same timeline or feeling like you're doing the same thing all the time or in the same place all the time, even though every decision you make actually shifts the direction that you're in, is because you stay in the past and you tell the stories of the past all of the time. I had a client. Let me know if you do this. If you do this, just say me, I do this, I know. I have a client and she wanted the most amazing relationship. And every single time she would meet someone, then we'd be like, okay, here we go. She would start telling the story about the last breakup. I just hope this doesn't end the same. I hope they like me as much as I like them, because the last time he left, or the last time they didn't like me the way it was, last time it was unrequited love, the last time. How many of you have done that? I mean, I'm just, I'm just saying, there's no judgment in the house, in the Aligned Soul world. We don't judge. We just tell the truth though. Yeah. I see a lot of me's. Yes. And so I was like, look, girl, of course you're manifesting the same thing over and over and over again, because you keep telling the same freaking stories. And so because you are telling these same stories, you keep looking, your brain, your ventricular activating system, it keeps looking for the same thing to happen again. Let's see. He says, yes, a lot of times we are replaying the narratives without realizing how it's affecting us. 100%. Yes. The likes. Thank you for the shares, guys. Continue to share this out. I'm going to break down those 5 steps once we get to a good amount of likes. And then I know that there's some people in this room. All right. And so I want to know, what past stories are you reliving over and over again? Right? A lot of women come into my world. It is my mission, right? I've been doing this for a very long time. It's my mission to help over 1,000 women to create $1 million businesses where they are living their truth, where they are using their gifts and they don't have to rely on anything outside of them. Okay. So if I was to continue to tell a story that, oh, it's harder for someone who looks like me, or it's harder for me to attract people, or it's harder for my videos to go out there, what timeline am I going to continually be on? What timeline am I going to continue to experience? I'm continue to experience it being hard. I'm going to continue to experience the challenges. I'm going to continue to experience all of that. However, if I continue to tell a story that I defy the odds, things work out for me, I'm always in the right place at the right time, or the right people always come into my videos, I turn on live when the right people are ready to hear this. If I start telling that story, that's what I start to experience. Hello, Tucker, Faye Witch. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for all the follows. Yes. So continue to live, share this, get some hearts, and then we're going to go into the 5 steps on how to quantum jump. So when I say quantum jump timelines, how many of you think effort? Oh, Lord, I'm going to have to jump. I'm going to have to go sky high. I'm going to have to work hard for this. How many of you think that, right? It is not about jumping timelines. It really is a shift in your timeline, because all timelines, all the possibilities, all exist at the same time. And what we are going to do, and what these 5 steps are going to do, is going to shift your focus and shift who you are being, so that the 3D has no choice but to catch up to where you are. Hello, Nursta. Yes, it's so good to see you. Everybody, remember to grab your hearts. Click that little thing and grab your heartbeats too. So I'm going to teach you how. Thank you. I'm going to teach you how to, thank you, Nursta, for grabbing your heartbeat. I'm going to teach you how in 5 steps to actually jump timelines, because it's not that hard. And when I take you through these 5 steps, I'm going to show you how you've been doing this for a long time. Thank you for the roses, Nursta. Let me know how you're feeling and send in some healing energy your direction. So one of the things we get to do is, can you accept, remember, see that you quantum jump all the time? With every decision that you make, you shift what you are going to experience. I'm going to use this let me tell you a story. Good morning, gorgeous. Let's say there's a version of you. Okay, so you have a choice. You're getting up in the morning and you're like, I am either going to work at the coffee shop or I'm going to stay at home. Okay, so you've got 2 choices. Let's say, thank you, Eve, for the heart me. I appreciate it. Guys, grab your heart me's. Thank you for the follows and the heart me's and all the hearts. Oh, we're at 1,000. Yes. We're going to get to the 5 now. Okay. So if you had a choice and you say, I can choose to go to the coffee shop, or I can stay home and work. There's a version of you that goes to the coffee shop, and there's a version of you that stays home. Timeline shifts. So let's say the version of you stays home and you work and you do the things that you normally stay at home. You don't, you don't really go out. You just stay at home. You get your work done. So life stays very same. You do your work, you put on your TV, you do the same thing. Okay. But let's say the version of you decided to do something different. You go onto the timeline that went to the coffee shop. What if you were manifesting a relationship? So you go to the coffee shop to do your work, and you're sitting at the coffee shop, and sexy, tall, the thing, he just comes up to you and he's like, hello, right? You're in the line getting your coffee. So you get your coffee, and then they say, oh, don't worry about paying. This tall glass of water over here paid for your coffee. Woo! Different timeline. You just met somebody who paid for your coffee. And then you go sit down, you go, you say, thank you so much on the way to your seat. Thank you so much for paying for my coffee. And you're like, huh. And he's like, yeah, I just been watching you. I love your style and I wanted to pay it forward. You would not experience that timeline because you on timeline A decided to stay at home and do the same thing every single day. But because timeline B, you said, I'm going to do something different, you just experienced a whole timeline shift. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Nursta says, I love this analogy. Heartbeats. Thank you for the 2,233, 2233. All right. See? Yeah. So I just want to show you how you shift timelines and you do it all the time and you do it with different choices, right? It's your decisions that you're making. Now I'm going to show you how to intentionally jump timelines in 5 steps, but I want you to feel how easy this is and how you make different decisions. Now, if I stay home, I make the same decision every single day, the same move. I get off the bed on the same time, the same way. I comb my hair the same way. I brush my teeth like the same number of times. I go, I get my coffee. I do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Then am I giving myself a chance to see how I can actually shift my timelines, or am I just creating the same thing over and over again? And then couple that on top of, I always tell the same stories. So, I'm at home doing the same thing that I do. And then my friend calls and says, how was your day? And I'm like, it was fine. It was boring. I didn't really do anything different. And she's like, oh, okay. So you just say the same stories, you tell the same thing, and you do it over and over and over again. Yeah, let's see. Eve says, Liz says it makes most sense. Eve says so many possibilities in front of us all at once. 100%. Thank you so much for the shares and the hearts. I appreciate it. Okay. So I've shown you how you actually can jump. And you remember how I said it's not about jumping timelines, because then you feel like, oh my God, there's so much effort. I don't want to jump timelines. I'm tired, right? It's not about jumping. It's really shifting, because every timeline, everything is available for you right now. And it's just one based on how you decide. So let's go through. You know what? Before we do that, I'm going to talk about this. When you tell the same stories and you do the same thing, your brain is calibrated to the past. And so it looks for similar opportunities that you've always experienced, right? So your reticular activating system is calibrated to look for things that is in alignment with what you've always experienced. Let me know if that makes sense. Tell me yes, yes, yes in the comments. And so if I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again, my brain is as at peace, because it doesn't have to, quantum leaps are in the unknown and the unexpected. And if I'm doing the known and expected all day, every day, my brain is feeling good because it's not scared. It's not nervous. It's like we've done the same thing. We're sitting on the same couch. We're talking the same way. We're having the same conversations. Life is good. And my friends, she's giving neuroscience tea. Yes, Eve, the tea. Y'all drink that neuroscience tea while I drink my Celsius, because I'm tired, y'all. All right. And so if your brain is calibrated to the past, what do you think you continue to experience over and over and over again? The same thing over and over and over and over again. I am all about magic and miracles. The modality that I talk about is called woo, W-O-O, do, right? So the woo plus the do, you get the magic and you get the miracles, but you also need to move, right? The woo plus the do. And so we've got to understand that our brain, your subconscious, plus the soul, right? Your spirit, your soul, and the body all play a role in manifestation. Manifestation is a system. It's so simple. Thank you, Nursta, for the roses. I'm just seeing that. I appreciate it. And so if your brain, your soul and your body are all playing a role in manifestation, then that means you need to understand how to bring it on board with what you're creating. All right. That's why we're talking about the neuroscience. Okay. And so manifestation is also a system. It's a simple freaking system. Ooh, I'm going to talk about that. It's a simple system. And so I'm going to give you, there's 3 pieces to the manifestation system. It's your identity. Who do you think you are? Because that's what you manifest. And you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. Your state, your energetic state, and your emotional state. And then calibration, right? And we're going to talk about the quantum jumping piece, the quantum leaping piece, the shifting piece has to do with the calibration. Okay? And so when you understand those 3 pieces, your identity, your state, and your calibration, then you can get in some quantum shifting magic. All right. So Princess says, what if leaps and life don't make sense, etc.? If I want to be a millionaire entrepreneur, but I got to work. Baby, I worked 20 years corporate. And guess what I have? A 7-figure business. And I had to work while I was creating it. And I don't like to use the word but, because but cancels out everything you said before it. So I'm going to say, and I figured out the things that I got to do while working that corporate job, while also building this business. You get to have both, Princess. You get to have both. Okay, because I saw my corporate job as an angel fund to fund my business. I also saw my corporate job as the side hustle. Are you feeling me? I didn't see it as the hindrance to me creating my business that I have right now. I actually saw it as the benefit. Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And so we can use that. I love that example. I'm going to use that as the example because a lot of times people think, oh, quantum jump. That means that one day I'll be working my like going to corporate business. And then the next day I'm going to have $1 million business. That's not the quantum leap, the jump that I'm talking about. The way Princess, and who else wants a multi-million-dollar business? Knows Princess, I raised it to a multi-million-dollar business. Lots of reframes in here. Yes. Because guys, I have coached over 20,000 women. I am not somebody who just fell off the what is it? The coconut truck or the turnip truck and just decided to get on in this internet street. And I'm an expert at this. No. I have coached over 20,000 women. I don't apologize. No sorries here. Asur. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Asuri. No sorries here. We're going to talk about how to do it. We got this. I got you. You got me. All right. And so I didn't just start this, last week. Y'all, I've been doing this. First of all, I'll be 50 in 29 days. 50. I didn't wear no makeup on my red lip today, but I'll be 50 in 29 days. Okay. And so my parents always taught me that I could ask, believe, receive. They were Christian, but they talked ask, believe, receive, and they told me to write in my journal and I would be able to receive whatever I wanted. And so I decided that there was never a limit to me, whether it was the corporate job, whether it was I had to file for bankruptcy after I left my corporate job. But I'll tell you why. Don't worry, Princess. It's not because I left my corporate job. It's because of my mindset when I left. And so, hello, Nisha. Thank you for everybody that's joining. So what I'm saying to you is you don't have to go the same route as everyone when I give you these steps on how to shift, not jump, shift timelines, because everything is available to you. All right. So let me start I'm going to give y'all some of the details. There's so much I wanted to say, and continue to ask your questions because I will use these as examples. So let's use Princess's example. Princess is currently working. She got to work, but she wants to be a multimillionaire entrepreneur. She got a business idea. She's ready to go. However, she got to work. How many of y'all got to work? Got to go to work? I did. And so that's why I love this example, because I'm going to show you how I did it. All right. Okay. So the first thing you need to do in order to shift your timeline, in order to jump timelines is you need to, let's see, I was just fired, but I need to make money. Okay, we got you, Ashuri, we got you, Ashuri. Number one, the first step is decide. And let me tell you why. The first step is to decide. Decisions. Remember the example, if you weren't on the call in this live in the beginning, I'm going to give that example one more time. Your decisions shift the timeline you're on. So if I was sitting at home and then I have a choice, stay at home, do what I've always been doing, work from here, and then go watch my Netflix. Or I could go to the Starbucks and work. And so I can make the same decision, work from home, do the same things, never shift. Or I can choose to go to Starbucks. So the version of me that worked from home did her thing. It's the same day. I do the same thing, think the same thoughts, talk to my friend. We're all good. Version timeline B me decided, let's go to Starbucks or let's go to the coffee shop. Let's go to, if y'all don't like Starbucks, let me go to the coffee shop and work. I go to the coffee shop. I'm in line right in behind the tall glass of water. Good looking, just tall gentleman, just, yes. I go to pay for my coffee and they say, oh no, this gentleman paid for your coffee. Whoa, guess what? I was on a different timeline. I'm on the timeline where the tall, beautiful gentleman in front of me paid for my coffee. And that gives me an opportunity to tell this beautiful man, thank you. Let's say I was manifesting love and I have now got a chance to meet this person that I wouldn't have met if I'd have stayed on timeline A and just stayed at home and did the same damn thing over and over again. I made a choice. I made a decision. I decided to go to the coffee shop. I gave myself the opportunity to meet tall glass of water, gave him the opportunity to pay for my coffee. And then we get to have some conversation together. Do you see how you shift timelines all the time with your decision? Let me know. Put some yeses in the comments. Give me some hearts, like share. Okay? Yes. Thank you, Nursta, for all of the roses. Yes. Everybody says yes. Okay. So my first way to shift the timeline, my first step is decision. You need to decide. And so, Princess, decide. You are a multi-millionaire entrepreneur. Decide. Okay, so you make a decision. And I'm going to give you another step. You got to move differently. Okay, this is not even something, I'm going to talk about some of the different moves that you get to make, but I want you to know that if I decide today, like I said, timeline A me stayed home, but timeline B me decided that I was going to go to the coffee shop to put myself in the mix. And then guess what? I get found by the tall glass of water that decided to, pay for my coffee or pay for my Celsius or something, right? And so if I decide that I'm a multimillionaire business owner, then I got to make moves like that business owner. That entrepreneur, which means what kind of business you want. Princess, drop it in the chat. Everybody follow Princess so we can watch her on her business creating journey. Ashuri, you got laid off or you no longer have that job. What do you want to do now? You are free. What if you do now? That means I'm free. And yes, I get to make money. Not I need to make money. I get to make money because now ability to do it in the way that I want to do it and not the way that, be working for that other person said I had to do it. You are free to make the choices and the decisions that you want. Princess is a self-love coaching for women. Ashuri designs streetwear. Okay, so let's say we decided that I'm a multimillionaire business owner, self-love coaching for women. So I decide that that is who I am. Now I got to start moving differently. Okay. I got to start moving differently. All right. I'm going to go to number 2. I'm going to get you to the moves in number 3 and 4. All right. Number 2. So you decided that you're a multimillionaire love coach. You decided you are a streetwear designer worn by the stars. People are like, we love the designs by Ashuri. Okay, let's see. I am Flora Marsh. Oh, tell me how to pronounce it. Business one. I get to make money helping women turn pain into power. I'm a multimillionaire who has a business that turns women's pain into power. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Decide it. Say, I decide, and put whatever you are creating, put it in the comments. Tasha, I decide I am a freelance writer and author. By the way, I have a couple of clients. She's a copywriter. She decided she was the copy queen. She became the most recommended copy queen in this spiritual entrepreneur space on Facebook when she decided, right? I am Fiore. And I love it. Thank you. Yes. So decide. I decide I'm a streetwear designer of the celebrities. I decide I'm the streetwear designer everybody knows. I decide I am a global, known, all over streetwear designer. Come on, y'all, start deciding. I decide that I have the love self-coaching business. I decide that I am the multi-millionaire self-love coach. I decide that I have a business that turns women's pain into power, and I make multiple millions. Put it in the comments. I decide I am a freelance writer and author. I decide. Number one. Number two, you got to change your stories from the past. You can't be saying, I tried it before, and then the last time I see Christine, I had decided, Christine Michelle, I decided, and the last time I decided, it didn't work. That's not you. That's a different timeline. That was timeline A you. Your timeline B you. Fiore says, I decide I have a business that turns pain into power for women and I make millions from it. Princess, I decide I'm a multimillionaire self-love coach and influencer. Done. You decide, and so it is. I decide, and it is done. Decide. You decided. It's done. Okay? And so you change the stories from the past. Anything in your past that tells you this is going to be harder for you because of how you look, or this is going to be harder for you because they don't send their videos out to people, whatever, this is going to be harder for you. I want you to change that story. That is not the story. Let's see. Fiore says, how do you deal with the multi-passions, love, and also business limiting beliefs? I'm multi-passionate. Right? So I will give you an example. We'll get back to changing the stories of the past. I'm multi-passionate as well. You guys give me some hearts and loves, and thank you for all the follows. Okay. And get your heart meets because I go live almost every day except for weekends. I'm multi-passionate. So I am a business person. I love talking business. Like I love it. But also I love talking about woo. Right? I want to talk manifestation, magic, miracles, like all of that stuff. All right. Thank you, everybody that joined hello, Dee. Welcome to the heart. Okay. And so I combine that. I am someone who that's why I say my modality is called woo do, because I'm not going to just give you the woo. I'm going to tell you how to do it too. Right? So I'm not going to just give you the woo, the magic, the energetics. I'm going to give you the strategy that go along with it. So do you see, I'm multi-passionate, but I put it together because there's only one Christine. And so Fiore, there's only one you. Whatever you have the multi-passionate, let's bring it together and let's make it all work because there's only one you. Hello, Tasha. Welcome. Thank you for the heart meets. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And so the 5 steps, the first one was you had to decide. All of you threw it in the comments. I decide I am. I decide I have a multi-million-dollar business. I decide I am the love coach for the celebrities. I decide I am the streetwear designer that everybody is wearing. Like everybody has my clothes on their body. I need you to start seeing that. Let's see. Oh, hello, Christine. That's actually my name as well, Christine Michelle. There's only one me, I hear you. Exactly. There's only one you with your story. There's only one you. Hello, Mara, side hustle. I think it was side strategist. Hello. All right, Christine, from one Christine to another. All right. So you, number one, decide. Number two, change the past stories. My client, the one who wanted the relationship, all she kept saying was, I hope this relationship doesn't end like the last one. I was like, girl, you got to stop telling that story. And then she kept, and Every time she would go out, she'd be like, I said, how was the date? Oh, we had a great time, but I hope she don't leave me like the last one did. Guess what happened? They left her just like the last one did because she kept telling the same damn story. And I was like, you've got to tell a different story. So I had another client who was in a very toxic relationship. She was a teacher as well. And she was told by the doctor she couldn't have a baby. And she wanted a multi-million-dollar business. So what did she do? When she started working with me, I said, we get to have it all. You get to have it all, which means that hello, Christine, thank you for the heart me. That means you got to stop telling that story and be the multimillionaire. So what did she do? Her name is the Insurance Exam Queen. You can find her on YouTube. You can find her on Facebook. She's even might be on TikTok as well. I think she is. She decided that she was going to use her knowledge and teach people how to pass the insurance exam because she was doing it for another company and teaching their people, but she wasn't making as much as she could. And so she decided that she was going to start doing YouTube videos. Guess where she is today? She's almost to $3.5 or about a $4 million business off a $97 product because she decided to change that story. And she's got a husband who's amazing because the toxic relationship, that one defizzled. And guess where her husband found her? The one she got now, the good one. He found her from a YouTube video. So she rewrote the story. She stopped saying I'm in a toxic relationship. She stopped saying I can't have a baby because guess what? The baby that she had is now going to be 2 years old in June 26th. Because she stopped telling the old stories. And she decided that she got to become a multimillionaire. Now she is. She decided that she got to have the relationship that she wanted. She's out of the bad one. She's into a really good one. And she decided that she got to have a baby. And she did. Let's see. Christine says, stop. I thought you were calling me out. I love your name. I love your name too. Yes, rewrite the story. Tasha says, I also believe the universe won't let you have a baby with the wrong person. Now, okay, can I break this down just a little bit? What if you knew? I like this. I am always, what I teach my clients, 20,000 of them, I tell you that there is no limit to what you get to create because your subconscious is on your side. The universe, God, source within you and all around you is on your side. I also say that there is nothing limiting you but yourself. And so what if you knew that the universe isn't stopping you from anything? It's actually within you that isn't allowing things to unfold. That way, when you are, I just did a whole video on divine timing isn't real because once you decide it is yours and you get to shift to the right timeline. And so what if the universe isn't stopping you? You just get to shift to the timeline where you are going to, because that person could, oh, I could tell you another story. Oh my God, I got a good story for this. Tasha, listen to this one. So I had a client and they wanted to be in like married and relationship and babies and all the thing. And so what she did, I said, I don't want you to envision like the person. Like, I don't want you to envision the person because the person they were with was not the right one. And so, or supposedly. And so I just want you to imagine yourself on a timeline where you have the baby, you have the relationship, you have all the things. And so she decided to be the person that had the baby, the relationship, all the things, was the person that people would want to like be with. And she just decided to shift who she was, right? Instead of looking for everyone else to change, she just decided I'm going to shift and adjust who I am and what the mirror is reflecting back. And so guess what happened? A year later, she not only had a baby, but she was still with that same person. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Hello, Shar. Thank you so much for the bouquet. I appreciate that. So wasn't that the person she was with was the wrong person. It was who she was being in that, or what she was accepting, what her boundaries were, needed to change. Once she changed that, guess who also changed? She's like, Christine, it's like he's a brand new person. I said, because he is, because you are. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So it wasn't that that person was the wrong person. It's that she needed to shift who she was being, what she was allowing, what her boundaries were, and how she got to be in that situation. And guess what happened? The timeline shifted. And then she's like, it's like a new person. I can't believe it. I was like, it's not like he's a new person. I was like, you are attracting something totally different from that person. A lot of times we try to change the person instead of being the person that gets to have someone shift in front of my eyes, shift in front of my life, you shift because I shifted, because I'm attracting something different from you. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like, tell me you're picking up what I'm putting down. So this also, because I don't ever want you guys to say, oh, well, that means I'm the problem. Nobody's a problem. Everything that we get to experience, we get to say, oh, that's interesting. Now what do I want? Okay, I don't want that. I want something different. Okay, I'm going to decide I get to have something different. This is all a piece of this timeline jumping. Y'all are getting the gold today. Do you have your notes out? Are y'all taking the notes? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So, nice explanation. Oh, thank you, Lopez. Let's see. Taking the notes. Yes, yes. Y'all can take them in the comments. All right. So let's go back to the 5 steps. Y'all ready to go back to the jumping timelines in 5 steps? So one thing, we don't jump timelines. We shift them. I use jump because y'all like to say jump, but you're just shifting. You're just shifting. Let's see. Victoria says, therapist tells me this constantly, but I'm like, how do I change inside? She's dragging it. Look, okay. I'm going to tell you how you change inside. You are going to shift your identity. That's the biggest thing. I said the biggest thing before I started, the manifestation is it's a system. It's a system. 3 pieces to it. Your identity, which means you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. Your state, energetically, who you are, energetically and emotionally, and then your calibration. The calibration is kind of what we're talking about today. And because you quantum leap, jump, shift based on who you're like, what's normalized for you. Okay. And so this is where I'm talking about, we're shifting our brain. We're going to stop telling the same story. We're going to decide and allow ourselves to shift to that timeline. Or y'all, this is the catch up. I'm breaking y'all down a little bit before I go. Okay. And so what you are doing, right? You are deciding you are no longer timeline A person. You're going to make a decision that shifts you to timeline B, and timeline B is where the things that you desire is unfolding in a way that you desire it. A more desirable fashion. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So if I go and I'm going back to the 5 steps that you can jump timelines, take these notes. Number 1 is decide. And a lot of you have dropped it in the comments. I decide that I am a streetwear designer where everybody's wearing my things, right? I decide that I'm the self-love coach, that I have a multi-million-dollar business. I decide that I am turning women's pain, helping them turn their pain into power, and I'm making multiple millions from it. I decide. Okay. So that's step 1. Step 2 is you change your stories from the past. I do not want to hear any more stories about it's hard for me to do this and work a corporate job. Nope. That's not the story. The story you are going to tell, who was saying they had to, I remember somebody was working while they were doing it. Guess what? When I was working full time and I also was building this business, the story that I told is that my corporate was paying for this business. It was the angel fund for what I'm doing right now. It was the reason why I will be leaving. I told the story that, wow, I'm in the last days of working this business and I'm going to enjoy, this job, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to tell everybody bye. I'm going to clean my desk. I'm going to do all of this, and I'm going to appreciate the money that it's given me because I'm going to put some savings. Thank you. Okay. And so instead of telling the story that it's so hard, or having your own company is so hard, or these things, all those old stories, I changed the story and I said, it's the easiest thing that I've ever done. This is going to be the easiest thing that I've ever done. And I'm going to continue to show up for myself every single time. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts and sharing this. I appreciate it. Okay. And so I had to change my stories from the past stories. If you want a relationship, you've got to change the story. If you're going to keep saying all men suck, or all women are gold digger, or whatever lies and stories that you keep yourself, you are going to keep running into liars, and you're going to keep running into women who only want you for one thing, or men who only want you for one thing. You got to change the story, because if you keep telling the stories of the past, you stay on the timeline that you do not want. Let's see. Shar says, I understand, but sometimes I'm looking for proof, and I know I have to just accept that it's done. You are the proof. You are the proof. And guess what? The moment you decide, universe, source, God within you and all around you is instantly showing you how you have shifted timelines. All you have to do is look for it. All you have to do is look for it. All you have to do is look for it. Instantly. You are the proof. By deciding it is done, now all you have to do is look for the proof. You can even say, source within me, show me the proof that I have decided and it is done. You are the proof by number 3. I'm going to show you that, but by making a different decision. So if I've decided, one of the big things I decided is that I get to have $1 million quarter, 90-day period. Even if the money isn't like ramping up, I decided. And so by me being the proof, it's for me saying, am I doing things differently than I was doing before? Yes, that's proof. Because if I decide and it is done and I'm moving differently and I'm moving like the person who has $1 million quarter, if I'm moving like the person who, even though they work corporate, that's princess, and you decided that you are a self-love coach that everybody's going to, am I making videos about self-love? Am I making videos about loving that person? That's the proof. Were you doing that before? Nope. That's your proof. It's already changed because I'm being a person. My identity shifted. I've moved. I'm doing it differently. And it's only a matter of how you speak about it, how you start to see it. You are the proof. You moving differently is the proof. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? What if you knew that the 3D is always delayed? It's always catching up to you. And the desire in your heart, that desire that's coming through you, is the proof that you already have it. And so I love to call it the quantum soup. The quantum soup is where everything, every possibility, every version of you, every timeline exists. The moment you decide that you are the self-love coach who has a multi-million-dollar business, right? That you decided that. I love that example. The moment you decided that, there's a version of you that's already doing that. All you need to do is continue to be in the identity of that version of you. And so when you continue to be in that identity of that version of you, and you take steps and you start doing that, the 3D has no choice but to catch up to you. 3D has no choice but to catch up to you. Let me know if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. All right. Let's see. Tasha says, so do you think it's best to manifest all at once or focus? Oh, Tasha, all at once. I don't talk about, okay, I do identity-based manifestation with the woo-do modality. I do not talk about one thing at a time. Why? Because that takes longer. Identity-based manifestation, everything gets to unfold at once. So we have Queen Victoria. She's on my lives a lot. She would like to start a Montessori school and move into an amazing house and to make all the money, right? She doesn't have to say, okay, let me focus on the school first and let me do robotic affirming. I own a school. I have a school. I have a school. I have a school. This. So I have a school. I have a school. And then she doing the robotic affirming all day. And then her relationship falling apart because her husband's like, well, girl, you sit over here robotic affirming. Why can't you just like spend some time with me? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? No. Shift identities. You get to become the person who has the self-love coaching, who is the multimillionaire who's loving her life and traveling and doing all the things all at once by just choosing to shift into that identity. This is why I talk about quantum shifting. You're shifting into the timeline where all of that exists, not the one thing, and not the one thing. How do I save this life? Follow me. Hello, imaginary librarian. I love that. Follow me. Put a heart in the comments. And then I am going to also put this live. This is a good one, y'all. I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel. All right. And that way you'll be able to see the rest of it. Okay. And message me to remind me. As soon as I upload it to the YouTube channel, I will message you back and say it's there. Okay. Okay. And get your heart me's before you go, y'all. Get your heart me's. I think it's like 2 cents or something like that. All right. Where was I? Y'all, this was good. Wait, let me see. What do you mean? Proof we did that? I just want to make sure I answered all the questions before I go into coming back to where we were. All right. Okay. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Royal. Let's see. Yes, please let me know. I need to find you on YouTube. It's called The Aligned Soul on YouTube. The Aligned Soul. Sorry, I'm not supposed to send people off this. Look for The Aligned Soul. Okay. Let's see. Wait, nope, I haven't done the full 5 steps. Y'all keep not letting me get there. Let's see. Can you review the steps? Christine. Do you feel you can manifest an SP that has told you they don't want to? Ooh, okay. Bespoke. I have so many SP stories. Yes, screenshot it. Okay. I have so many SP stories. Keep that in mind because I want to get to the 5 steps. I want to give you all the 5 steps and then I'll come back to the SP story. And thank you for the heart, Mishar. Okay. What was I going to? Oh, I want to recap for Christine, my namesake. Hello, Christine Michelle. I want to recap. So we talked about how it's not really jumping timelines. It's shifting to the timeline. Okay. Right. I also talked about timeline ABU and timeline BU. I talked an example and I said, okay, you could choose to stay at home, do the same thing, or you can choose to do something totally different. You guys jump timelines all the freaking time. You are jumping timelines like all the time, just from decisions. Okay. Then we did the steps. Well, I said manifestation is a system. It's your identity, your state, energetic and emotional, and then it's your calibration. We're kind of talking about calibration here with the quantum jumping. All right. So that's a big thing. Okay. Now, the 5 steps. I'm just going to go through the steps and then I'll teach the steps. How many are ready to do that? I'll try to do that because I want to make sure y'all get the steps. Number 1, step 1 is decide. You are going to decide. So all of you decided, you put it in the comments. I decide I'm the $1 million self-love coach. I decide that I am, have a streetwear designer that everybody knows. My name is on everybody's lips. Everybody's wearing my stuff. I decide that I have a multiple $1 million business that is, it's turning women's pain into power. Like I'm showing them how to do that. All right. So decide. Number 2, hello, Cassandra. Number 2, let's see, just from watching this live, we're shifting. Exactly. I'm telling y'all, people call me the vibration lifter and the energy shifter. This is what we do. Okay. Number 2, change the stories from the past. So you can't keep telling the same old freaking stories and then think you're going to jump a timeline. No, if you tell timeline A stories, you're going to stay on timeline A. You got to tell timeline B stories, which means that you can't say, oh, it's so hard to work a job and then have a business. No. You get to say, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm so proud of the version of me that worked that job. I'm so proud of the version of me that worked that job while creating this business. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? You can't say all women are horrible or there's no good men out there. You can't tell that story if you're manifesting the love of your life. You're deciding that you're the person who's in a relationship, has the husband, the kids, and all this kind of stuff. No, because then you're saying there's no good men out there. Then that means that one don't exist. And you want to marry a bad one? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting? Okay, so number 2, I'm going to come back to, let me see. I'm going to come back to the SP. All right. I'm just remembering what I'm going to come back to bespoke. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to your all of the beautiful things you guys are saying. All right. So you change the stories from the past. That's number 2. Y'all comment so I can know which ones I got to. Number 1, decide. Number 2, change the stories from the past. All right. Can't tell the same stories. I can repeat this over and over again, but this is a big thing. And I've coached over 20,000 women. I'm telling you, try to change your stories. Number 3. Oh, this is a fun one. And this is something that you can easily start doing, but you're going to start showing your brain that you are a different person. All right. So number 3 is you're going to break the autopilot. Oh, and I just saw someone saying that they want to, yes, they want to release some weight. I lost over 100 pounds and I'm still releasing. So I support you with that. Okay. So the number one, decide. Number two, change the story. Stop telling the stories from the past. Number three is that you are going to start doing different things, changing the autopilot. So remember I said in timeline A, I work from home. Timeline B, I decided, you know what? I'm going to work from the coffee shop. That was something so small, so immaterial to anyone else, but it opened me up, right, to going to the coffee shop and maybe meeting someone. Maybe it's somebody that says, oh my God, what do you do? I'm a self-love coach named Princess. Oh, really? Wow, I've been looking for a self-love coach, right? Now you opened yourself up to be seen, heard. Somebody to say, oh, I need a self-love coach. What do you charge? Let me sign up with you. But if you would have stayed at home doing the exact same thing, you wouldn't have met that person. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So you can either stay timeline AU or you can shift to timeline B and do something different. Break the autopilot. If you always take this same direction to go home, just do it differently. Take this other direction to go home. Allow yourself to start seeing things differently. This is so small, and some of you are going to be like, that's small. I'm not. Do it. I'm telling you, these changing the autopilot, breaking the autopilot breaks the simulation, because it's like, oh, she's somebody different. It shows your brain that you're being somebody different. Be different. Let's see. I changed the autopilot by starting to work back in the healthcare field instead of my old field. Huge. These are small, tiny changes. Then I'm going to show you how you get to take these small, tiny changes and make them mean something. Okay. Thank you everybody for grab your heart me's while you're here. Okay. So I'm going to go through the 5. So we said, decide, change the stories from the past. You're going to start doing something different. You're going to shift the autopilot. Number 4, in addition to breaking the autopilot, number 4, you're going to break the loop. What does that mean? Christine, I break the autopilot. What does break the loop mean? Breaking the loop means you are going to make new decisions, but you're not going to just decide, you're going to move differently. So if I'm Princess and I decided that I have a multi-million-dollar self-love coaching business, but my loop, the things that I've been doing throughout the day have nothing to do with making videos, going live and talking to my audience, then I need to break that mother-freaking loop. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? That means that I've got to choose differently. That I now need to do something totally different from what I had been doing. What does that look like? That looks like me starting to do videos. That looks like me starting to just talk about self-love, talk about my journey for self-love, talk about what it looks like to love yourself more, talk about all the things and start to serve my audience when I used to not do that. That means, okay, yes, I go to work every day. I have a job right now, but I know that I'm the millionaire self-love coach. What does the millionaire self-love coach do? That's not what I used to do. Breaking the loop. You break your autopilot by doing small, different things throughout the day. You break the loop by being someone absolutely different and doing opposite of what you would have been doing. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah. Reese. Hello, Reese. Tell me, Reese. Hello, Lashonda. Okay. So we said 1, decide. Y'all keep up with me so I can see where. Number 1, you're going to decide. Number 2, you're going to change the stories from the past. Number 3, you are going to break the autopilot by doing little tiny different things, very different from what you used to do. Hello, Juicy Juice. Okay. Number 4, you're going to break the loop by deciding to move differently and actually moving. You can't just decide and think, oh, I decided. Oh my goodness. When I got into the coaching industry so long ago, it was about 13 years ago. I remember everybody was like, I decided. And they're like, but it didn't work. I decided and it didn't work. I'm like, did you move? Did you make an action that was in alignment with that decision? Or did you just decide? You can't just decide. You've got to move differently. You've got to act differently. Because if you didn't the way you're acting, then you didn't decide. I will say that again. If you didn't shift how you're acting, then you didn't decide. All right, let's see. Reese, currently doing this now, little things throughout my day, huge. All right, so you've got to break the loop, right? Break the loop by deciding and moving differently. Faith without works is dead. Yep. All right, and number 5. You have got to stop asking how and be the how. Be the vessel through which the how flows through. Yes, conscious decisions. Yes, Felix. Yes, yes, yes. You've got to stop asking how and be the how. You be the how when you are breaking the loop, breaking the autopilot. Because guess what? Timeline AU was just doing the same thing, and just your brain and your everything, your mind was so happy because there was nothing different. But I said what? Quantum leaps comes out of what? The unknown and the unexpected. The unknown and the unexpected. If you keep doing the same thing, you are not jumping timelines. You are not quantum leaping. You gotta do it differently. And so if you keep saying how, where are you asking? You're asking your brain. And if you keep asking your brain how, then you're only getting answers that you know are familiar with. Thank you guys for all the clapping, the sharing, and the tapping. Don't forget to get your heart knees. So if you keep saying how, the only answer you can get when you're going from here is what you know. That's not unexpected. That's not the quantum leap. So you've got to stop asking how and be the how. How do you become the how? By doing what I'm talking about, breaking the autopilot, by breaking the loop, by moving differently, and by letting the how flow through you. Stop asking how, be the how. Now, let's talk about this, the 5 steps, the quantum leap, the jump from the questions. So I'm going to scroll back. And I remember there was a question. Hold on, we're going to find it. I think I scrolled back too far. Oh, here we go. Let me pin this one. We're going to start here, and then I'll start reading the comments again. So, Bespoke, concierge nurse, thank you for everything that you do. Bespoke said, do you feel you can manifest an SP that has told you they don't want to be with you? Now, I wrote a book, best-selling book. It's called The Aligned Receiver. One of my clients found me from my best-selling book. And she wanted to be in this relationship with this person so badly. They had been together for 7 years prior to that. Beth, if you're watching, I love you. And so she was like, Christine, I want him back. Christine, I want him back. Christine, I want him back. And I was like, well, first, let's shift. I don't know if you guys heard the story about what I was talking about how things shift really fast when you start to work within and shifting the person within. And so I said, let's focus on you. I said, let's make sure that you believe you are the most desired queen. That was what her identity was. I'm going to be the most desired queen. I'm going to be the version of that I love myself so much that I wouldn't take anything less. Okay. So we focused on her. We took the attention away from, right, the SP, and put it all on her. We cut cords, we sent the energy back, and we said, okay, your identity is that you're the most desired queen. She just started to be so in love with herself and so in love with her life. Of course, the person came back. But also, another person came along with that. And so that other person came, and she was like, timeline A or timeline B. She had a choice. She chose timeline B, the new person, because she was able to see that the person that she really, really, really wanted to be with wasn't up to par to what this new, beautiful, amazing person was. And so she chose this timeline B. And guess what? They got married last year. And she's the happiest she's ever been. I used to call her husband now. I used to call him, I used to say he's Stan the man. I was like, he's like the universe to you, because every time she desired something, boom, it would flow into her life. Or he would say, hey, I was thinking about this about you. And she's like, Christine, that's what I wanted to manifest. But if she would have just had a closed mind and said, it has to be this SP, it has to be this SP, instead of focusing on her, she wouldn't have become the most desired queen. And that everybody started desiring her, and it gave her choices. Because usually we always desire that. And I have an SP story that I was like, oh, I thought it had to be this person, but it was out of lack because of what I thought that person made me feel. It was lack. And when I came and filled my cup, I realized I didn't want that person. So now I want to give you a positive story that someone got their SP back. So the story that I was telling earlier, there was a client, and she really just was like, okay, this person, we separated. She was like, I really want to be back with this person. I was like, let's forget about that person. Let's focus on you. Again, do you hear what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. You need to focus on you, not that person. So she focused on shifting herself, shifting what she wanted, raising her boundaries, deciding that she was most desired queen, deciding that that's what she got to have. And guess what happened? That person came back into her life, but they were different too. And she's like, oh my God, it's like they changed. I was like, they didn't change. You changed, and you attracted a different version of them on timeline B, the new timeline. And so that new timeline, when she was taking care of herself, when she was loving herself, when she was like, I will accept nothing less. I know what I deserve. I know what my boundaries are. Guess what? That person came back, and they couldn't help but be different because she wouldn't have accepted anything else. So can you track back your SP? Yes, but don't focus on them. Let that go and say, I don't even want that version of that person back, because you're going to be different. You're going to be the person, like the best version of you. And you will only accept the best version of who gets to come back into your life. So can you have your SP? Of course. But you're going to realize that you don't want that version of them anyway. There's a reason why they're not in your life right now. And it's because you deserve better. You deserve more. You deserve the best. And you receive the best by becoming the best. Becoming the best version of you, loving the version of you, loving who you are. Let me know if you're picking up what I am putting down. There are so many comments that I feel like I am missing. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know if you feel it. Yeah? Bespoke said yes. Okay. And so what we get to do, focus on you, Bespoke. We get to focus on your identity of the most desired queen. We get to focus on your identity of being like all the people want to be in your world. We get to focus on you and you and you and you alone. We get to shift your boundaries. We get to decide that you get to have everything that you desire. We get to decide that you are complete and so in love, and you are complete as you are. And then when you decide that, you got to change the stories from the past. Those past stories that you probably been like, oh, men are so hard to be with, or they're all dogs, or they're all cheaters, or I'm not the one that they choose. They always choose someone else. What are the stories that you're telling? Let's change those stories. Let's revise that. Let's start seeing it as this breakup was the best thing that ever happened to you. This breakup gave you the time to start to focus on you and realize how mother freaking perfect you are, how amazing you are, how desired you are. And the more that you get to start to see that, and you start telling that story, everybody starts to tell you that story too. People are going to be like, you're so amazing. Wow. Like, I didn't even know why. How are you single? And then the SP is going to try and mosey back on your life, and you get to have a decision. And you might be like, I'm not so sure. I will tell you, out of thousands and thousands of women that I have coached, there's a few that will take that person back. But the majority of them have found something way better. It's hard to believe because you've been conditioned and telling the same stories. And so what I want you to do, hello, Queen Vanessa. I just told a story about you, Miss Queen Vanessa. You've got to now decide that I am the most desired queen. And then we get to start telling the stories about you being the most desired queen. I love you too, Vanessa. Okay. Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. A lot of the shifts, let me also, before I start getting to the questions, because I see we got a good question from Princess, and I think I have some questions up at the top. But one of the reasons why it's so hard to believe is because you've been telling yourself the story for so long that you aren't. Oh, hello, Sheena or Shayna? Shayna Love, you are the most desired queen. We've been telling the story that you're not desired. You've been telling the story that nobody wants to be with you. You've been telling that lie to yourself over and over again. So it's so hard to hear the truth. And so what we get to do is we get to shift. I created this, you guys see that it says the Live 77. I created, it's called the alignment assessment. And the alignment assessment is where it's a 25-minute diagnosis, and it shows you where you are in relation to your manifestation. And it shows you the exact thing that you get to work on. Sheena Love, thank you. And so it tells you the exact thing that you get to work on. And so you understand if it's your identity, if it's your state, or if it's your calibration. If it's your identity, you get to learn how to take the steps to shift your identity. Now, normally on what do I call it? It's the webinar. It's like $777. But on TikTok, I give you 90% off. So it's $77. There's a 3-day event. And then there's a 45-day. I used to do a 30-day protocol, but I realized it takes 45 days for you to anchor in the new identity. So there's a 40-day protocol. We just started it yesterday. Everybody started the 45-day protocol yesterday. And so what I want you to do is, like, it's hard for you to believe because you haven't started embodying that identity yet. You still have things that are coming up. They have the identity blocks. I have a 33 list, a 33 of identity blocks. I went through them on day 2 of the 3-day event. And there's a piece of you that feels like maybe I'm not good enough. And you're like, but Christine wants me to think I'm the most desired queen. And so there's things in your body. There is, it could be ancestral, right? It could be epigenetics. It could be just different beliefs that are in your head. We get to shift all of that. But you have to first decide that you're that, so that all of those beliefs and all of those things that do not match who you truly are come up, so that we can shift them out of your body, out of your cells, out of your tissues. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And so if you are feeling like I need to go to this next round with Christine, click the link or do the thing. You know, I can't say that, right? Click the picture and then click, I can't even say click. Y'all know what to do. Go to the thing, do the thing, and then put Live 77 in the thing, and you'll get 90% off, because I have decided that I want 10,000 people, 10,000 women to go through this, so they'll know exactly what is slowing down their manifestation. Notice I said slowing it down, whatever. It's just beliefs. Okay. All right. So let me come back. I don't want to. Okay. Let me go to Princess. I'm going to pin this so I can remember where I left off. Princess says, what about dualities? For example, I desire X, open to it casually, but I desire X, open to it casually, but I want a serious relationship. Okay. I love that. I love this question. Y'all, I teach manifestation very different from a lot of people, right? So you've got some people that'll say, oh, well, if you desire a serious relationship, you can't be out there dating a whole bunch of people, and you got to be like this type of person, and you got to like do all of these things that, all of that. In my mind, I know that I can create anything. My identity, and it always works with your identity. So you've got to decide if you want to follow a lot of like the patriarchal way of doing things, right? So if you're going to decide that, oh, I can't date multiple people because I want this one relationship. And if that's what you truly believe, then go and be that identity. That person who's like, I'm just going to date one person at one time. I'm the identity. I'm the most desired queen. And I'm going to try one thing at a time. But I know that my dude is out there. Okay. Here's what I believe. I believe that if you think you can date all the people in the world and you can have casual things, and you also know that one of those people are going to be the one of the love of your life, then go do it. How many of you have seen people that have dated casually and found the love of their life while they were dating casually? I have. I've dated like I said, I've coached over 20,000 women. I've also seen women that said, no, I just want to do one thing at a time, and then I'm going to find the dude. Go. You're going to do it. It's all how you want to do it. Are y'all picking up what I'm... Hello, Ernie. Okay. And so what I want you to know is that a lot of the stipulations we put on ourselves, a lot of the I must do this and must do that, all of those rules are all created by people. So you can create your own rules. If you want to say, I want to just date around, I want to have fun, and I know that the love of my life is there for me, you can do it. But if you want to create the rule that says I must only date like one relationship at a time, and I must only like just date seriously in order to get the serious relationship, then that's your rule. Follow your rules. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Hello, Peekabooski. Y'all have the best names. Y'all got the best names. Everybody pick up your heart me's. Definitely don't forget to get the heart me's. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Thank you, Peekabooski. Yes, thank you. Okay, so we got that one. There were so many other questions. Let me scroll up. Oh, you guys want the list of 5 again. Okay, I will break that down. Let me see. Lady Luck. That's where okay, let's see. Lysandra says, I decide I am a nurse who has a loving, supportive husband named TP. All right. Lady Luck, 1986. 10 years after I was born. I decide that I weigh 150 pounds. I have $1 million in the bank and 5 passive incomes. Okay, let's use Lady Luck as an example. I want to pen this. Let's see. Lysandra says she feels the shift already. Woo! Let's see. I changed the autopilot. Okay, I did. I got to all. If I haven't addressed your question, if you put a question in there, then I want you to write it again. I see Fiore. I'm going to go to you next. Lady Luck, 1986, has said that they decide that they weigh 150 pounds and they have $1 million in the bank with 5 passive income streams. And so they decided. Now, if there was any stories that Lady Luck is saying that, oh, it's hard for me to start passive income streams, or it's hard for me to trade, or it's blah, 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 they've got to change those stories. She's got to change those stories. Okay. Number 3. So we said decide number 1, change stories number 2, using Lady Luck as an example. Number 3, Lady Luck. You've got to start doing like breaking the autopilot, which means you got to start doing little tiny things differently in your day. They're little tiny things differently. So, for example, if you like timeline A, you always, let's say, works from home all the time. I like to use this example. Then do something a little different. If you always work in the same corner, go work in a different corner of your home. Like just change it up. I just want you to start showing your brain that you are changing and you're doing some things differently. You might find creativity will come from a different corner just because you changed, but it won't be because of the corner you're in. It'll be because you started to do different. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, brush your teeth with your left hand. If you get off the bed on the left side, get off the bed on the right side. Like just start to do some small things because we're going to break the autopilot. That's number 3. Number 4, you're going to break the loop. What do I mean when I say break the loop? Break the loop means that you've decided that this is who you are, but what are you doing consistently looping on a daily basis that isn't aligned with that version of you? You're going to break that loop by taking action that is totally different from what you normally would do. So Lady Luck says, I have passive income streams, multiple passive income streams. Okay, so I need you to be creating these passive income streams. Break the loop. Have you created, you said 5 passive income streams? Have you started passive income stream number 1? Have you started passive income stream number 2? I want you to start breaking, like you need to start doing the actions of the version of you that has those 5 income streams, those passive income streams. Okay, so that's number 4. And then number 5, stop asking how and become the how. You become the how by moving differently, by moving, right? You're going to be doing the breaking the loop. You're going to be breaking the autopilot, breaking the loop. Then you're moving and taking action in a different way. So what does that look like? That looks like, instead of asking how and trying to do it from this brain that only knows certain things, I love to ask, what else is here? Show me something that I haven't seen. I love to ask, what does my audience want to hear? I asked that before this live and I said, okay, quantum jump 5 steps. That's what we're going to do. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So decide, change the stories of the past. Anything that you are telling yourself that's in alignment with timeline, start telling the stories that's in alignment with the timeline B, the you that already has it. Even if you broke up, you had a breakup, even if you had like the worst breakup ever, you need to say that breakup was the thing that led me to where I am right now. It's the answer to all of my prayers, even though I didn't know it at the time. You're not going to say all men are evil, right? Oh, hello, Ralph. Good to see you. Hello, Peekaboo. Thank you for those roses. Okay. So you're not going to say this, start telling those old stories. You're going to tell new stories that are in alignment with where you're going. Number 3, you are going to break the autopilot by doing little tiny things that are different. And number 4, you are going to start breaking the loop by taking action that's in alignment with timeline B. You don't need the $1 million business in order to take action to create the $1 million business. The actions that you're taking is creating the $1 million business because you've already decided you're the $1 million business owner. And number 5, you're going to stop asking how and become the how. You become the how by moving. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things that I have not seen. Okay, let me pin this comment from Fiore. How about if we don't know? Sometimes I feel like I want to date because I don't want to date because I want to date. Oh, okay. I think you're saying sometimes you feel like you don't want to date because you don't want to be hurt. So, Fiore, do you see how you're making decisions based on the past stories that you're telling? Let me know, pick up what you're putting down. You decided, you have to feel in your heart, do you want to be in a relationship? If your answer is yes, then you've got to tell different stories. You're not going to tell the story of the heartbreak over and over again. That's what my client was doing. I don't want them to break my heart. If they break my heart, I said, you're you right now, girl, you need to start telling the stories of, oh my goodness, those heartbreaks led me to the most amazing relationship of my life. You get to say, I am so strong now because of that. I am the different person now because of that. And so you wouldn't be afraid to date if you weren't telling those old stories. You're telling the old story, which means that you're opening a door to be heartbroken again or hurt again. What you get to do is tell the story of, I'm going to date, I'm going to have fun. If it doesn't work, good, because that means I'll take whatever I learned from that and put it into something else. Instead of being hurt, you get to say, I'm expanded because I've learned so much about myself. Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right, let's see. Peekabooski, let's see. Yes, new gem. All right. Okay. Decide, yes, change the stories, break the auto loop. Yes, break the autopilot, break the loop, and stop asking how and become the how. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Hello, pretty girls. Facts. Okay. Fiore means, what I mean is I want to date multiple people so that I don't get attracted to just one. But part of me is a lover girl who wants to focus on one person. Okay. Again, you're telling the stories that I need to date multiple people because I'm afraid that I'll get hurt by dating just one. But you said it yourself that you want to date just one person. So what do you need to do? You got to stop telling those stories. You got to stop telling that I'm going to be hurt or I'm dating one person is going to lead to me being hurt. I see what you're saying, babe. Yes. Okay. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Keep putting your questions in the comments because I want to bring you back to the beginning. It's not about jumping timelines. It's about shifting timelines. And how many of you have decided, I'm not going to be timeline A person, I'm going to be timeline B person? You're welcome, Fiore. You've decided you're going to be timeline B person. So what does that look like? You're going to stop telling those past stories. Your brain, your reticular activating system, your brain, okay? Your brain is either calibrated to the past or it's calibrated to the identity of the you that has the thing you desire. If you decided you have a multi-million-dollar business, your brain, your body, your soul, everything can be calibrated to that identity before the million-dollar business comes in. Yes, Pretty Goro says, I love this. So I'll tell you the story about my client. My client wanted to be vice president. She was a planner at the time, didn't have direct reports. Planner to vice president. To go that route, it normally takes 9 years. And we were like, ain't nobody got time for that. How many of you say, ain't nobody got time for that? 9 years? Lord, I might not even be at this job after 9 years. And by the way, she's not there anymore. So anyway, she decided she wanted to be vice president. And so what we did was create an identity of her being VP. So she created a VP Moves playlist. She started to dress in her mind like the VP. She didn't buy anything new. Before y'all say, I don't have no money in this bin. She didn't buy anything new. She looked in her actual wardrobe and said, okay, I'm going to wear this. 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 And she's like, this is what VP me would wear. Okay. So she also decided that she's going to think like the VP, which means that she went into meetings and instead of being a planner asking what to do, she recommended, or she said, this is what I would do. This is what I would change. She didn't ask for permission. She decided she was the VP without it. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. And so she did the things. I have this identity shifting method. It's called the personal energetic vibration method. I talked about it in the 3-day event that you get when you take your alignment assessment. Okay. Live 77, do the things. You get 90% off. Okay. And so she just did the she did the PEV method, right? To shift her identity. She became the VP while she was the planner. There was no evidence that she would be vice president. And so she's doing it. She's doing the thing. She's doing the thing. She's doing the thing every day, 2.5 months. Okay. All of these people that are like saying, I need evidence. I need evidence. 2.5 months. She kept doing it for 2.5 months with no evidence because she was the evidence. Because every day that she dressed up and said, I'm the VP, the evidence that she needed because she decided, okay, so I don't want to hear, you need evidence. You are the evidence. So she goes and it's about 2.5 months, maybe a little bit more closer to 3 months. They called her and they asked her to do a presentation. It was like a lunch and learn. It was going to be 2 hours long and they wanted her to present this thing that she was doing with the planning team and everybody loved it. And she was like, Christine, right? So she said, I don't do presentations, Christine. I don't want to do no presentation. I don't do that. I said, you don't do presentations, but does does VP do that? And she was like, yes. I said, well, you do presentations. How many of you have said, I don't do presentations. I don't create digital products. I don't go live. Does the version of you that is a multimillionaire go live? Well, then you go live. Does the version of you that, has the multimillion-dollar business and has created all of the products or the services or whatever that everybody loves, do they create videos? Well, then you create videos. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So Melissa went ahead and did it. She said, okay, I'm going to go do it. So she's created her presentation. She goes and does it. She gives her all. And she walked in there as the VP. And she was like, I'm going to do it. Everybody stayed. It was standing room only. No one had that many people in a room for one of those lunch and learns. The lunch and learns, people used to eat and just leave. Standing room only. She was like, Christine, they loved it. 2 hours. They absolutely loved it. Guess who got promoted like a week later to director? Melissa. And so Melissa gets promoted to director. I'm like, okay, right? Because that's 3 months. Go from planner to director. That's usually a 5-year stint. Took her 3 months. So she's director now. She's doing her thing. Okay, she's doing her thing. She still got her VP playlist. I still remember some of the songs that were on that playlist. She's dressing a little bit better because she got a little change. She got a little money. She went from she was at low 6 figures. She got a little bit of more change. And so she's feeling good. She's like, I am the VP. So when she goes to meetings, she, instead of asking for permission, she's still doing the recommendations. Or as the director, she fixed the problem and then said, this was the problem. I fixed it. You notice how she's not asking for permission. She didn't ask anybody for permission. She decided she was the VP. She's going to make these changes. She decided that that's who she is. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Get your heart me's before you guys leave, get your heart me's. Okay. So she didn't ask for permission. She went ahead and did it. Fast forward 6 months, guess who got promoted to vice president? Her. It took her 9 months total from the time she decided to 9 months to the promotion of the vice president. Everybody else, 9 years. That's a quantum leap. That's a timeline shift. Because she decided. She didn't tell stories about, oh, it takes 9 years to become VP. Oh, I need to change how I'm dressing to be VP. Like I need to buy new clothes. No, she just looked what's in her closet and said, what would I wear if I was the VP? Okay, I'd wear that. I'm going to wear it now. She put the music on. She got into VP mode in her drive because it was about a 45-minute drive to where she was working from where she was living. So she used that 45 minutes to be VP. She got out of the car. She was VP even when she was not. She shifted her identity. She decided and then she was. This is what we do. For her, when she took, like you got the alignment assessment, she needed to thank you, God's beloved. Thank you for the heart me. She decided that she was like, oh, I need to shift who I'm being. And so it was in the alignment assessment, it was like, it's not her state. Because she was always in a good mood. She always felt like energetically tied to that, but she wasn't being that version all day, every day. She was asking for permission before she made her moves. She would say, is this okay? Thank you. Okay. She would be like, is this okay? Do I have permission to do this? Blah, blah, blah. That's not a VP. A VP says, I suggest, or this is my recommendation, or this is what I'm seeing, and this is how I'd fix it. Too many of you are waiting for people to knight you, to give you permission to say what you want to say. I'm telling you to give yourself the permission. You've got to decide you are already that version. You've got to decide this is already who you are. Are y'all picking up what I am putting down? Thank you for all the hearts, and I love it. So when you stop telling stories, it takes a long time to become VP. It's hard to work a job and create a business. All of those stories. When you stop telling the same stories of the past, you'll stop living the past and you'll move from timeline A to timeline B. You're already doing it. You're already shifting timelines. You do it so much. But I am showing you in these 5 steps of how to do it intentionally. What are your questions? Drop the questions. Drop your questions in the comments. I will use things as an example so you can see it. What is in your head? What are you like? Okay, this is, I make this stuff easy so that everybody's like, I don't have no questions. This was good. Ask your questions. And so I want you to remember, you shift timelines all the time. And these tiny steps, let me see if I can find, somebody wrote the steps. I'm going to pin, here we go. Number 1, decide. Number 2, change your story. Stop telling the stories of the past. The past is over. The past is the past. It's done. Number 3, break the autopilot. So these actions that you normally take, you go the same direction, you drive the same route to work, change that. Thank you for the heart puff. It's a scandal. I love it. Thank you for the heart puff. And so stop telling the same stories. Go and shift the direction that you're on. Start moving, driving, going in a different direction. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Break the autopilot, break the loop, and start being the how instead of looking for the how, asking everybody else their how. Somebody else's how is not going to be your how. How many of you know that? Just because I love this story. There was a story of there was a 19-year-old, and she was in a space with 37 different millionaires. And she went and asked each and every one of them how they became millionaires. And guess how many different answers she got? How many different answers do you think she got? She asked each and every one of them, 37 different millionaires. She got 37 different answers. There you go, pretty girls. 37 different answers. Because everyone else's answer, everyone else's step by step, is going to be very different. I know this. This is why when you take the alignment assessment and you get your diagnosis, everybody's prescription is different. And that's why I teach you how to create the prescription. And then you get to create your own 45-day protocol using what I suggest, but picking what's right for you. Because everybody do it differently. I was on a conversation with my client, and I have a tapping for, when you take the alignment assessment, it's worth $15,000, but it's only $77 for you if you use Live 77. I give you tapping for your $1 million year. Thank you. It's a scandal. I appreciate you for the heart puff. The heart me. Everybody get your heart me's. So you get tapping for your $1 million year. You get it's called frequency alchemy. And I give you 2. One is it's loved and adored, so that you can feel loved and adored without having your SP or having anyone in your life. You get to feel loved and adored. And guess what happens? You attract more love. Okay. And then you also get it's called effortless abundance. And when I was filing for bankruptcy, because I left my multiple 6-figure career and created this business. Oh, princess, I was going to tell you that story. Let me tell you that story. So I left my job and I ended up successful. I had some clients, but I still was moving like an employee. I had been an employee for years. I'll be 50 in 29 days, y'all. I'll be 50 years old, 50. And I left my corporate job and I went to, created this business, and I was still acting as, thank you. It's a scandal. I appreciate it. Yes. Happiness and joy. I have a whole video on my beauty regimen, which is not much, but it's mostly happiness and joy. Just choosing that every day. My mama and dad, I get it from my mama and daddy too. But I left that job and I was giving my clients the work that I'm giving. My clients were having $150,000 months. Another one had $102,000 a day. But here I was feeling like a failure because I was filing for bankruptcy. And so I was like, let's see. Glareworks, married guy. What does that? Oh, you're... That's all right. I thank you for the go popular. I appreciate that. And so I'm not mad at myself for the filing for bankruptcy and all of that, because I had to shift from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. I had to shift from being the employee. Okay. I had to shift from being that to being the CEO. And so that was a big piece for me. That was a big shift for me. And so I ended up filing for bankruptcy, but I didn't let shame, which is one of the 33 identity blocks that I show you guys, that once you take the test, we go through these identity blocks. But I didn't let shame stop me. And so I quantum leaped, right? I went from bankruptcy to now having a 7-figure business. Not because I was financially smarter than everyone else. No, it was because I did these things that I'm sharing with you. Because I shifted my identity and went from employee to entrepreneur to CEO. And I started leading my business, pricing my stuff. I started doing that as a leader, as a CEO, not someone who was an employee who had a business. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So I had to shift my identity in so many ways to embody that. Let's see. Glareworks, I need a new SP. So we talked about SPs, right? And we talked about like how to, attract your SP back or all those things. And what did it do? The first thing, Glareworks, is you get to cut the cords, send all of their energy back, and start to focus on you. Start to focus on being the most desired queen or most desired king or, whatever. Right? Hello, Coach Brandy J. All right, y'all put your questions. And so the 5 steps to quantum jumping, which I said is really shifting your timeline, starts off with your decision. You can decide to keep doing what you're doing today, or you decide that you are going to do something different. Decide that you're going to make different choices, and then start making those moves in alignment with those choices. So if you need a new SP, then you got to decide to be the one that the SP wants, desires. Okay. All right. Keep asking. Do you have any more questions? We've been going for 1 hour and 40 minutes. If you guys have any questions, if you want to know more about the alignment assessment or the alignment lab, which is where we do this embodiment work. How many of you have been doing manifestation or this kind of stuff, or quantum jumping and all of that for a while? Like you've been doing this for a while and you haven't really seen any shifts. I know why. One of the main reasons we do not see shifts when we're doing like this manifestation work is because we're doing it, but we're doing it like we're not shifting our identity. You're not becoming that version of you. You're not like shifting your thoughts, your beliefs to align with the version of you, the identity of you that already has it. And you are having the same old conversations. You're surrounding yourself with the same old people. Say, how many of you could say, yeah, there's no judgment in the Aligned Soul universe. No judgment. But I do keep it straight and I do tell you the truth. I give it to you straight. And so oftentimes we say we want something, but when we're at night, when we're by ourselves, you're not being that version of you. I have some clients and they'll create their 45-day protocol and then they'll be like, I'm like, oh, it was working. You started to see like things started to happen. You started to see results. What happened? They're like, oh, I quit. Why? Why? Because they fear of success. That's one of the biggest fear of what's going to happen when they have the business that they desire. Fear of what's going to happen when they attract the partner, right? We had someone that was saying, oh my goodness, I'm so afraid that if I start focusing on one person, then I'm going to get hurt. Old stories. Hello, Queen Vanessa. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? That's why I created the Alignment Lab, because you can know all the things. How many of you are like, yes, I know this. I know this. This feels so good in my body. Yes, I know to decide. I've been taking the action. But then you fall off. You stop doing it. You're no longer showing up as that version of you. How many of you have done that? I know I have. And then I used to get in masterminds. I'd pay $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 for these masterminds. Y'all, I've done it. If you've asked, I've done it. And I get in these masterminds. God's beloved says me. I get in these masterminds. Most of the masterminds, I love all my people. Like I love all my people. But I would get in these masterminds where I was the only person who looked like me. And have these women, they'd be like, I had $100,000 month. I did all of this. And then I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, oh, is it not working for me because it just doesn't work for me? Like someone who looks like me and all this stuff. So I would like just be like, that's because I was surrounded. I was in a mastermind that wasn't diverse, that didn't have multiple different people. That's why I love my spaces, because my spaces are diverse. And so you will find someone like you in that space who's winning, and you'd be like, I can win too. But I was surrounding myself in a mastermind, and then I was like, oh, I don't know. Am I the only one that's not working for it? And then it happened to be that I wasn't. But I wasn't getting the right coaching that I needed. The coaching support that I needed was I needed somebody to be like, I needed somebody who's going to walk with me, who was going to be accountable and hold me accountable and be like, did you do your identity work today? I needed a space that was going to like, we do our imagining together. We do that space and we all bring everybody up where I could have conversations about who I was deciding I was, not the old version of me who I decided I was today. And I am blessed because I have a sister and we talk like this all day. Like we'll drive to New Orleans. I'm originally from New Orleans and that's where my parents live. And so we drive the little 10 hours or 9.5 hours and we'll talk all about being the person who already has it. But how many of you have someone in your life that you can have those kind of conversations with? Be like, I just made $1 million and it feels so amazing. And what it looks like, I have so many clients and people are knocking my doors down. I have thousands of people that buy from me every single day. And then you probably have a friend that'd be like, girl, when did that happen? You'd be like, it's happening. It's happening now. I've decided that's my reality. That's the reality that I'm in now. Do you have that friend that you get to be Delulu with the Salulu with? This is why I create spaces like the Alignment Lab so that people can come in and be like, this is it. I get to have these conversations. I get to be surrounded by people that are going to lift me up, not ask me how, because they know I am the how. Ask your questions. What else is coming up? Hello, Carrot Shop. That's a cool name. Y'all have the coolest names. So if you were sitting and you were like, I know that I desire to have a business, right? A business that is a multiple $1-million business. I desire that I don't work at this corporate job anymore. I desire that I have clients out the wazoo. I desire all of those things. What do you need? You need woo plus the do. I like to say WOO, do, woo do. The woo plus the do. Because you get to understand that there's magic, there's miracles. You get to shift your identity. But you also have to do what? Take the steps. Know what your strategy is going to be. And earlier, someone was like, I'm multi-passionate. You get to be multi-passionate because there's only one you. I'm multi-passionate. I have a business, I mind, and I also have the manifestation, the magic, the miracles, that mind. And so in one live, you will hear me talking about the ancestors and how you get to, venerate them and appreciate them. You will have me talking about how you get to tap into your inner God voice and trust your intuition. But I'm also going to tell you, you also need to get out there and post. And your content needs to be speaking directly to that right person. And you need to get out there and speak to that right person and speak to the people you want to talk to, not the people you don't want to talk to. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? You can't just have one side of it. You get to have the whole thing. And that's why it's about holistic. Y'all pick it up? Yeah. Thank you for the hearts. Oh my goodness, we're at 14,000. I'm just seeing that. Yay. And so what I want you to know is that whatever you desire, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Someone will say, I desire to be a billionaire. I know there was a guy, Artemis, used to come to my lives. He's like, I want to be a billionaire. I'm like, okay, let's go. I will never say you can't have what you desire, but I will say you have to shift your identity to be that version of you, which means that if your business is at 0, you get to be the universe blow my mind billionaire. Yes. But you've got to be the identity of the person who is building their $1 billion business. which means you're not going to come in my world and tell me you want to be a billionaire, but you're not putting out the, like, doing what you need to do. You can't come in my world and say, I want to have my self-love business and I'm the coach of the century, and then not do what you need to do it. I'm going to tell you, I got you. You're going to do this, but you're also going to take the steps to do it. Hello, Sky. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Someone else above said faith without works is dead. Exactly. You got to move. You've got to take the action. You can't say, I am starting this amazing business, but then you didn't start it. I'm with you. Magic and miracles. I got the faith. I got the woo, but you got to do the do. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And so, yes, you can quantum jump timelines. And I gave you the 5 steps. Yes, you can shift timelines. Yes, you can go from timeline A to timeline B. And if you look at those steps, right? And I use the example of the business. You look at those steps, you're changing your stories, you're tapping into the energy, energetics are shifting. Yes. But guess what? You had to do some things too. You didn't have to know how to do them, but you start moving. How many of you have heard that an object in motion stays in motion? Some of you aren't taking action, and that's why you're like, I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. The reason why you feel stuck is because you haven't done a single, like a tiny thing. Move, start moving, and then you'll get another idea, and then you'll get another idea, and then you'll get another idea, and all those ideas will start moving and moving with you. Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And so tell me, what are you manifesting? What are you creating? What are you deciding is yours? What have you prayed for? Raf is like, yes. Y'all follow Raf. Raf was on the 3-day event. That 3-day event was off the chain, huh? Raf is creating a digital empire. Raf went ahead and took the alignment assessment. Raf knows where she is as in relation to where she's going to, like what she's creating, what she's decided is hers. Raf now is creating her 45-day protocol. We did that yesterday. Absolutely. It's the best thing that I've ever seen so far. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raf. I'm telling you guys, I normally do this on a webinar. On a webinar, it's $777 to take the assessment, to get the 3-day event, to get the tapping, to get the 3. And then I have a whole list of stuff that I added. Oh my goodness, Ralph, I am still working on that long list of all the things that I added that I said, oh, I'm going to give you certainty codes and this and this. It was like Oprah yesterday. You get to have this and you get to have this and you get to have this. So I'm still working on trying to upload that to the system. But it's because yes, she's so excited. It's because I want you to succeed. I am not the best at what I do because I did good, because it's me. No, it's because I care about you and I care about your success and I care about you creating your reality, the one that you want. And I care about that so much that I am giving you like everything you need to do it. So if you want to, and a lot of you were like, I want this business. We have the streetwear designer. Streetwear designer, I need you to be creating your stuff. I need you to be filming your stuff while you're creating it. I need you to be going live while you're cutting materials or while you're designing your next thing. That's what you need to do. Start bringing people on the journey with you. All of you that are like, well, I don't know what to do next. Bring the people on the journey with you. People, especially you're on TikTok, like everybody wants to see the journey. They want to be a part of that journey. So if you're like, I don't know what to post, just show people what you're doing. Tell them what you're creating. Tell them that they can come on the journey with you. And I guarantee you're going to have so many people that are going to be like, I watched you design that shirt. Can I buy one? I watched you design that mannequin or design that thing. I want that. It's that easy. But you can't say I'm the streetwear designer that everybody's wearing if you haven't created your first design. If you haven't decided, like, I'm the streetwear designer, now let me create the design. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Roth is the digital creator. It's nature ASMR. So guess what? ASMR. It's creating meditations. Don't forget to grab your heart me's, guys. I'm going to go for about 6 more minutes. So if you have more questions, drop them in there. The reason why I created the Alignment Lab. So the Alignment Lab is, think of it as an experience that you walk into the door and you pay 1 entry fee. It's not a membership. You pay 1 entry fee and you're in. And so you pay that entry fee. Right now it's on pre-sale until Monday, because that'll probably give me enough time to do the sales page. But it's on pre-sale for $997. But that's where weekly we do imagining sessions. That's where we go in and you get to ask questions. That's where you're surrounded by people like Raf and like all of the ladies who are part of my mastermind who are going to lift you up. You say you want $1 million business, you're going to get it. But guess what? People are going to be like, did you do your work that you were supposed to do this week? Yes or no? You're going to get those flip-flop slaps. Everybody calls me the flip-flop slapper because I'm like, okay, I am with you, but did you do what you're supposed to do? Because I am not going to placate you and say, oh yeah, you don't have to do anything. We live a soft life, but we live a soft life after doing what we've done, after taking the moves that we need to make, after making those moves. Y'all know I don't lie. I don't lie to y'all. I'm going to tell you what really what you need to do. The woo plus the do. I'm going to give you all of the juicy things that you get to do to shift your energy. And I'm also going to tell you the actions you need to take in order to grow the thing you grow. So, what questions you got coming up? I'm telling you guys, these are the steps to Quantum Leap. I'm going to give you these steps again. Y'all ready? First of all, it's not about timeline jumping. It's about timeline shifting. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Because you shift timelines every single day. You can either choose timeline A or timeline B, C, D, whatever. I'm going to keep it simple. You have timeline A. This is where you're working from home and then you don't do anything differently. You're sitting at the same place. You're making the same decisions. You're having the same conversations. You're surrounded by the same people. Timeline A. And then you have timeline B. Timeline B is where you decide, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go to the coffee shop. I'm going to surround myself. I'm going to get into the energy. I'm going to surround myself by some cool people. So you go to the coffee shop and you're standing in line behind this tall drink of water. And that tall drink of water has paid forward and bought your coffee. How many of you are like, I want a tall drink of water to pay for my coffee and pay it forward? Yeah. And so that wouldn't have happened if you stayed on timeline A and did the same thing you do every single day. No, you made a choice. You did something different. Now you're on a new timeline. So you're on that new timeline and you walk over to the table and you say, thank you so much. That was so nice. You didn't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. And then that person's like, I just saw you. I thought you were absolutely gorgeous and I had to pay it forward. And you're like, yeah, thank you so much. You exchange numbers and then you go sit down. So prospect, possible person, you got somebody. So then someone walks over to your table and is like, you have so magnetic. Like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a self-love coach. And the person's like, oh my gosh, I just had the worst breakup of my life. And I feel like there's some things that I need to shift and change. What do you do? How do you how do I work with you? Guess what? That wouldn't have happened if you stayed your ass at home. Timeline A, you went to timeline B. You put yourself able to have new choices, new opportunities. That's how easy it is. Your decisions shift you to different timelines. And when you start to make different decisions, when you start to step outside of your comfort zone, when you start to break the autopilot, what's that? Number 3, when you start to shift your loop, break the loop. That's number 4. When to do those things, you allow yourself to open up to new opportunities, new situations, new circumstances that you can experience. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And so here are the 5 steps. Y'all grab the 5 steps, because after I finish these 5 steps, I'm going to leave the code live 77 open for maybe an hour after, so that you have access to jumping into the alignment and you get your own diagnosis for where you are as far as your manifestation. You'll get access to the 3-day event we just completed. It's amazing. You'll get immediate access to it. And you'll get all of the bonuses. Okay. Number 1, the way you quantum jump, the way you jump timelines, the way you shift timelines. Remember I said it's not like jumping. It's not like an effort. You shift. It's number 1, you decide. Put it in the comments. I decide that, whatever you're deciding. I decide that I have my multiple $1-million business. I decide that I'm in an amazing relationship and I'm a nurse and I'm having an amazing job, amazing life. I decide that I have a $1 million quarter. I decide that I have 5 passive streams of income. I decide. What are you deciding? So you decide. Number 1. Number 2, you have to change your stories. Stop telling the same stories from the past. The more you tell the past stories, the more your brain is calibrated to the past. When your brain is calibrated to the past, you are on timeline A. So if you keep telling timeline A stories and you keep telling timeline A stories with your timeline A friends, and you guys are like, oh, there's no good men, or oh, it just sucks out there, or oh, it's hard to do this, or oh, it's a recession, or oh, it's the blah, 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 blah. Oh, I hate this government. No, and I'm not saying that that's not wrong, but I'm just saying if you keep saying all those kind of things, then you're on that timeline and you stay on that timeline. But if you start to say, you know what? I love my life. I love who I am. I am the person that has a successful business regardless of what's happening out there. I'm the person that no longer acquiesces to circumstances because I know I can surpass circumstances. I know that circumstances are just the old 3D, and the 3D is always behind me, always trying to catch up to me. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And so you tell these different stories. You start to tell stories of I'm the woman, you know what? If you tell stories like it's so hard for people like me, or it's so hard for me to do this because I'm a woman, or it's so hard because it's harder for me, da, 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 da. What are you going to do? You're going to be timeline A, harder for me. It's just I'm on the struggle bus and I'm riding it all the time. But if you tell stories like I defy the odds, you tell the stories like everything works out for me and in my favor, even when I don't know it. If you tell stories like, you know what, that breakup was challenging, but I've surpassed it. I'm winning every time. If you start to tell those stories, I am telling you, you're going to start seeing those kind of outcomes. So number 2, tell a different story. 1, decide. 2, tell different stories. Do not repeat the past. Do not keep telling stories of the past. Do not start to create more fear of that the past is going to repeat itself. The only reason why the past repeats itself is because you are telling past stories. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Thank you for the hearts. I'll keep sharing this live out. I appreciate it. Okay. So number 3, you are going to start doing tiny micro shifts and breaking your autopilot. So autopilot means that things that you just do on the same. So instead of getting out of bed on the same side, you're going to get out of bed on the other side. Or if you have someone laying on that other side, just get out of the bed in the front. If instead of brushing your teeth with the same dominant hand, you're going to brush it with a different hand. All right. Yes. Thank you. Rainbow Moon. So Rainbow Moon, thank you for writing this down. And so number 3 is that you're going to start doing things differently and breaking the autopilot. Because when you start breaking the autopilot, like I said, if you work from home all the time and let's say you work like right now, I'm on my king size bed, right? So let's say I always am here. I'm going to go and I'm going to work in the clubhouse, or I'm going to work at a different desk. I'm going to work at a different place so I can just shift myself and change my mind. So my brain starts to see, oh, we're doing things differently. Yes, we're doing things differently. Okay. And then number 4. So number 3, we broke the autopilot. Number 4 is we're going to break the loop. What does that mean? So right now, when you make decisions and you keep you're being that same version of you, you do and move, you decide and move the same. And so we've got someone that decided that they have a multi-million-dollar business with passive income streams, 5. So if you're going to break the loop, what are you doing every single day that someone who has 5 passive income streams, set up those 5 passive income streams, is not doing? Maybe sitting on your booty. I can tell you what someone who set up 5 passive income streams, I know what they're doing. They're setting up 5 passive income streams. And they're either focusing so much so they can set up that one passive income stream, get that one rolling, and then set up another passive income stream and get that rolling. They're breaking the loop. And so you're going to break the loop by deciding differently throughout your day, making different decisions than you would have made on timeline A, and moving differently, because you can't just decide. You've got to take action. So you break the autopilot, and then number 4, you break the loop. It is a loop. Think about it. Think about what you have done today. What did you do today that is something that you do every single day? It's a loop. It's the same thing over and over again. You got to start acting and being and asking yourself, what does the version of me that has those 5 passive income streams do right now? What does the version of me that is setting up these passive income streams, what did they do? And do it. Don't just ask, do it. Break the loop. Because autopilot is just kind of the same, like things throughout the day, small little actions, small things. The loop is big. I had a client, she wanted to go from small, like she had small, it's not small. You guys are, I'd probably be like, that's big. She had $1 million business, but she wanted a multi-million-dollar business. Her auto loop was that she just kept doing the same thing. She kept making the same type of videos because those had worked. Those made her $1 million. But doing that was not going to be what was going to take her to the multiple range. She had to shake things up. And so what did she do? She started to create a podcast. She expanded her reach. She shook up how she made the videos. They became a little bit more production, because you don't need production. By the way, just make the videos. You don't need production. But she decided, I'm going to change it. I'm going to do a little bit more production. She broke the autopilot because the autopilot was working. How many of you would have the courage to change when you're already making $1 million? Come on, be real. I know. It's like, oh, I'm so scared because if I change, then will it break apart? Yeah, not me. Rainbow Moon said, I'm good. $1 million business. Let's just keep doing the same thing. But she really wanted multiple million. So she had to stop doing what got her to the multiple million, the million, and do what was going to get her to the multiple millions. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah. And she did. She's at multiple millions now. Okay. And so number 1, what? Decide. Number 2, no more past stories. Number 3, Micro actions to break the autopilot. These are micro actions that you can do today. You guys can do everything on this list today. And then I want you to come back because you're going to say, wow, Christine, things started shifting. Number 4, breaking the loop. Those same things that you do every day. I'm talking about actions that are different. Like, when you say, what does the multiple dollar me do that this version of me is not doing? And it has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with buying things. It has nothing to do with going shopping. None of that. Because the money is just a byproduct. It has to do with who you're being, your identity. Remember, I said it's the identity-based manifestation. We don't manifest one thing at a time. We manifest it all at once because you change who you're being and you be the person who has all the things versus being the person who only has the one thing. All right, so that's number 4. And number 5, you got to stop asking how and become the how. How do you become the how? I know y'all like, how do you become the how? You become the how by doing what I'm talking about in number 3 and 4, by moving differently, because you become the how because the how starts to come through you instead of you looking at the same things and saying, oh, I know how from here. I love my brain. I love ego. I love those things, right? Because they made me who I am, but I cannot do something different if I've never seen it before, right? If I'm only swimming in a pool that is familiar, and that's what your brain does, it stays in the familiar, then you won't be able to do that thing that is outside of the norm. Quantum leaps is in the unknown and the unexpected. If you keep focusing on the how that you're supposed to do, instead of coming within and going within, you have the inner God voice, God within you, all around you, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. You have the unlimited knowledge. You have infinite intelligence inside of you. The how is in there. How do you access it? Through imagination. That's things that we talked about in the 3-day event, but you access that through your imagination. You click within, you tap into your soul. You say, what way do I get to do this? It's going to be different from what your mind would tell you in the 3D. When you start connecting with that consciousness, that all that is all inside you, you're going to know what to do. And you're going to start moving. And you're going to start taking action that probably makes no sense to other people, but it doesn't matter. They're not in your imagination. They're not within you. But you got to go beyond what you know. The how, when you say, how do I do this? What are my hows? How? You are keeping yourself in a box. Break out that box by becoming the how. Yes. Thank you, Rainbow Moon. All right, so that's the 5 steps. I guarantee, write these 5 steps down. Take these 5 steps. Come back to one of my videos and say, Christine, I've been doing these 5 steps. When I tell you immediately, once you decide, okay, I got to do one more thing. I'm not going to go till I do this one more thing. When you decide, it's already done. When you decide, it's already done. Once you have decided, I want you to say, okay, it's done and done. Because that energetic world, that spiritual world, that unseen world is the real. The 3D is catching up because it's slow, it's matter, it's catching up to your frequency, to who you be. I'll answer that in a second. Okay. And so once you decide, it is already done. And what if I told you that you get so much examples that it's already done, but because you're still on timeline A and you're not looking at timeline B, you don't even catch all the ways that it's already examples of showing you that it's already done. What if I told you all you have to do is say, show me the ways that it's already done? And every time you acknowledge every little tiny way of this is already working, I always say, oh, that's mine. Oh, it's already working. That's evidence. That's evidence. That's evidence. Guess what? Who gets more evidence? You. Every time you're like, oh, I posted today, that's evidence I'm already that version of me. That's our evidence that I'm already the millionaire. That's evidence I'm already creating these 5 passive income streams. You don't need to see the 5 passive income streams. If you're taking steps toward it, it's already evidence. That's evidence. Not waiting for your 3D world to match to be evidence. No, you moving, you taking the action, you deciding that you're being that version of you that already has it. That's the evidence. Okay? Proof. All right. Nobody says, okay, on the last one, how can you do 5 when you have a big fear of failure? Yes. Okay. Nobody. Fear of failure. There are 5 pillars of identity blocks. This is what I teach in the 3-day event. Ralph was there. Maybe a couple of you. If you're at the 3-day event, put it in the comments. So fear of failure and fear of success are both on there. Thank you for following me. Fear of failure and fear of success are both on that list. Okay? What if you knew that there are 2 sides to like the same coin? Fear of failure, fear of success. How many of you can say, yeah, that makes sense? Fear of failure and fear of success, 2 sides of the same coin. Kind of that duality that Princess was talking about. And so here's the thing. What if I told you that fear is your biggest green light? What if you knew, thank you, Miss Liz. What if you knew that just because you have that fear, that is evidence of your success? What if you knew just the fact that you have this desire is evidence that there is a version of you that already is doing whatever you said? And so what you get to do is you get to move through the fear. The only reason we let fear of success or fear of failure run our lives is because we put it in the driver's seat. I will never tell you that you will never have fear. Fear is always going to, it's about how you move with it. It's about how you respond to it. And so instead of fear driving, like fear's like, ha ha ha, I'm going to turn left because you need to turn right. So we don't want to do that. We're scared. I take fear and I say, okay, get in the passenger seat and here we go. You've got to take the action with the fear. And most of the time, the fear that you have, when you start looking at it and you're aware of it, it makes no sense. Your heart's going to race, yes. You're going to feel nervous, yes. And guess what? Some people see that heart racing and that nervousness as excitement, not fear. It's all about what story you're telling about this fear of failure. Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And so what if you decided, okay, fear of failure, let's go. I'm going to show you that this is something that we have already decided is already mine. And I know it's going to be scary. And I know I don't know where this is going to go because quantum leaps are in the unknown and the unexpected, but I am still going to move. I am still going to take this action. And I'm going to move through it while my heart is racing and while I feel nervous and while it feels uncomfortable, I am going to take these uncomfortable actions. How many of you can say, you can't let fear drive. Just put it in the passenger side and say, let's go. I'm scared. You can even, what are you afraid of? Put it in the comments. Give me an example of something you're afraid of, and I'm going to show you what I do. Anybody, drop what you're afraid of, and I'm going to show you what to do. And so I love Miss Liz. Miss Liz says this makes I'm afraid of being mocked. I love that. I don't know if you guys were on the live with me. Recently, I had a live, TikTok live, and someone came on and called me a racist thing that I didn't even know what it meant. It was, I guess, some new racist term, y'all. They got new racist terms. And so I didn't know. I read it out loud and I said, what does that mean? But I wasn't mad. I was just like, what does that mean? And there was this older white lady. She was like, "Do you have she's like, "Do you have a moderator?" I think that was a racist term. I said, "Girl, I'm not a moderator." I ignored that person. I just was like, "Oh, okay." Like, and because I just kept teaching and I kept talking to the people, but I wasn't mad at that person, because I always know that if you're mocking me, if you are talking bad about me, it's your own issue with yourself. It's your own insecurity and your own hate for yourself, and it can do nothing to me. So go ahead, say the bad thing. Go ahead, mock me. Thank you for the engagement. And that person could only last in my light for like 2 minutes, because I didn't give that person the fight that they were looking for, or the that they were looking for. Thank you for the go populars. I didn't give him that satisfaction, and that person announced their exit. Well, since you don't want to pay attention to me, I'm leaving. Okay. Everybody in the comment was like, bye. And so nobody, if you are afraid of being mocked, I want you to give yourself the opportunity to be mocked. Because there are going to be more people that are lifted up, and more people that you are impressing, more people that you've made just an impact on, than that one person who they themselves hate themselves. That they themselves are upset about. Thank you for the gold populars, Narista. They themselves are upset. And that's why they felt that they get to mock you. And so I want you to give people that opportunity to mock you. Give people that opportunity to hate on you. Because you're going to find that there are more people that are going to love you, more people that are going to appreciate your message, more people whose lives you've impacted than the 1 and 2 and tiny little percentage that want to talk out of their butt. Let me know if you're feeling this, because no one that is doing better than you, that's happy in their life, is going to mock you. No one that is someone that has what you desire is going to mock you. The people that mock you, or the people that feel mocked, that don't love themselves, that are there. Let's see. It's almost my meditation time. 2:22 and 22 seconds. Nobody, that message was on point. 2 hours, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Let me tell you. Let's see. I definitely am. This is hitting right in my heart. I know, I can feel it. And so I want you to just close your eyes for a second. Guys, can you do this? Close your eyes for a second. And I want you to see yourself. Remember how I said everything's in your imagination? You to see yourself doing whatever you think you're going to be mocked for. And I want you to imagine yourself in front of a crowd. It's about 55 people, and there are 5 people that are mocking. Who do they think they are? They ain't nobody, right? You're being mocked right now, but you got 50 people that are like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Wow, thank you for that. Wow, I loved that. You have 50 people, and the 5 people that are mocking, feel it, close your eyes, feel it. The 5 people that are mocking are like gnats. Because there's 50 people that are like, thank you. And if you didn't show up for the 50 people because of the 5 gnats, those 50 people whose life you changed would not be changed right now. Which one makes you feel worse? Not showing up because of 5 gnats. Or showing up and changing the lives of 50 people. That's what you're doing when you decide to let fear of failure stop you. The fear of failure is a lie. And so is the fear of success. They're all lies. And so I want you to know that anyone who mocks you is feeling themselves mocked. So that person who made that racist remark, thank you, Eve. Welcome back. That person who made that racist remark to me in live, them were hating themselves. And I didn't need to play into that. I don't need to scream at them, yell at them. I don't need to do any of that. I just need to continue shining my light, because my light is for the people who are ready for it. My light is also going to shine on the people in the shadows. And they may not love being in that light. They're going to lash out. They're going to be like, man, nah, 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 nah. But guess what? I am here for the people who are ready for the light. And yes, I'm going to expose some shadowy people. And they may act out, but I will never let them stop me. And so what you get to do, one of the biggest things we did in the 3-day event, on day 2, we tapped into the why. But not that why, like, of course, yes. How many of you want to be millionaires? We all do, right? That's great. Multiple millionaires, whatever. But there's a deeper why. Why? What are you going to do with that money? What are you going to experience? Thank you for the roses, Eve. What are you going to experience? What is that money, that situation? What is that going to give you? Because when you can tap into that experience, and then you can go deeper into the emotions of why you want the money, or why you want the business, or why you want the thing that you think you're going to be mocked for. Soon it becomes so powerful in your body of the why you desire that, why you get to do that, that the mocking is nothing compared to the passion that you're like, I am not going to not do this. It hurts too much for me not to do this. Who cares about the little gnat that's saying something to me? They're only doing that because they hate themselves. If you are picking up what I'm putting down, say yes, say yes. And so, my goodness, I was supposed to stop at 2 minutes. I'm now about to go do my meditation. Guys, I do my transcendental meditation. I do it twice a day. I do it when I wake up, and then I do it when I go to sleep. But I want to ask nobody. Hello, Raf. Thank you for watching for 100 minutes. Did that help you, nobody? Because I want you to know that you not doing what you fear that it's going to be mocked for is what is hurting the people that you're here to help way more than the pain of the mocking. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because, oh, Lisa Miles, hello. I'm seeing new names. Hello. Yes, I did, for sure. I'm writing it down in my pad to remember. All right. I'm going to take this live and I'm going to put it in my YouTube so that those of you who have come, you can go and watch it there again. I'm not editing it, so all of this is going to be there, but I'll try to post that today. And if you want to watch it, message me and I will get you my YouTube. Let's see, Lisa Miles. This is my first time to find you, but this resonates like a gong. I love that. Resonates like a gong. Well, get your heart meets. I go live 5 days a week, usually Monday through Friday. And then sometimes I'll pop in on a Saturday and Sunday, but I don't promise. I don't promise. I might be chilling on Friday. So definitely, yes, grab your heart meets and like follow me so that you'll be here when I go live again. Like I said, I created the alignment assessment because after coaching over 20,000 women, I want you to know where you are in relation to what you're manifesting. When you understand if it's your identity, your state, or your calibration and what to shift, then you know the exercises to take, you know the actual protocol to do, and then you'll see everything unfold in your life. And so if you want to take the alignment assessment, get that 3-day event talk to you about that Raf is like, it was so good. And all of the things, Raf, I'm adding the certainty codes, the emotion. What are we going to do? Yes, we're going to do the whole Ho'oponopono, the joy, all of those things, the scent anchoring. I'm going to add that as bonuses. So Lord, this thing is $15,000 worth, but you, because you're on TikTok, you get it for $77 and use that code. That code is only good for at least an hour after I do this live 77. I'm going to put it in the thing. It's called Live 77, and you go to the picture and it says alignment assessment. Click on that and then Live 77. What was I? Oh, so if you are feeling like this resonates, go grab the alignment assessment. If this is resonating hard, go into the alignment lab. This is where we do this work. These 5 steps, this is where you integrate it. The alignment lab is one payment. It's not a membership. You get in, you're in. And once you are in, this is where weekly we do imagining sessions. We do manifestation sprints. We do coaching and mentoring. We do like all of the things that you need to do to embody. We're doing that there. New processes that are working for me, I share them. How to do them. You learn the identity codes. You learn how to alchemize energy so your state is right. You learn how to become a calibration master. That's what the alignment lab is. And right now it's on pre-sale because we opened the doors on 3/3. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. The link is not even in my bio. Like, you have to message me to get the link because we're only letting certain people in because I need to do the sales page. And I need to make sure it's exactly what I want. And so if you have any questions, drop them here. But if you are like, just like Christine, this resonated, I appreciate you. 17,000 hearts. This is the most that I've ever had. Like, I want to eventually get to, you know how you guys ever watch those creators? They have like 1,000. By the way, I got all the way up to almost 55 people in my live. This is huge. I'm going to do this topic again. This was so fun. But you know, those people, the creators, they have like 1 million hearts. I'm like, what? That's awesome. So I'm tapping into the identity of me that has those, that unfold. But in order to do that, what do I have to do? I got to decide. So I decide I get to have 1 million hearts. Boom. Right? That's the decision. Number 2, what do I need to do? Change the stories of the past. One of my past stories was that it's hard for melanated creators to succeed on this app. I have to tell a different story. I decide that I get to succeed. I decide it's easier for me. I decide that people find me and they fall in love with me, that they say this is exactly what they need to hear. That's the new story that I tell. That's number 2. Number 3, I need to get to do small things differently. I get to get out of bed. I usually get out of bed on this side, the king size bed. I'm going to get out of bed on the other side. I'm going to brush my teeth with my left hand because I'm right-handed. I'm going to start like working from different places. Like I'm doing this on my bed. I don't usually do it on my bed. Sometimes I'm in the chair and there. Sometimes I'm in the other room. I'm moving it around. I'm going to walks. Usually I do my manifestation and motion walk. She said, this happened to me today. I'm telling you, I do my manifestation and motion walks. Have you guys ever heard of, I made them up, manifestation and motion walks. I walk and I do it for like 15 to 30 minutes. And I'm like speaking into existence what I create, right? And so if I always go left on my manifestation and motion walk, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right. I'm going to go right. Okay. Hello, Nat 4. I'm going to go right. And so it's just those small little micro shifts. Okay. That's number 3. Number 4, I'm going to get out of the auto, like break the loop. And what are some loops, right? What are some big auto loops that I do, right? This would be maybe instead of working from home tomorrow, maybe I go work by my pool. That's different. That's something that's very different for me. Auto loops. Instead of like, I'm going to make sure that I send an email to my audience. I have a list, right? You guys know I coached over 20,000 women. So I have a huge email list. I'm going to email them daily instead of a couple of times a week. That's a different auto loop. Another auto loop that I decided to shift was instead of me, I used to have like a lot of different programs. I broke that auto loop by changing to one, which is the I have the small program, right? I have the diagnosis, the alignment assessment, but then the big program, the big experience that I have is the alignment lab. So now I'm only moving people to the alignment lab. Y'all see how I'm making these shifts, I'm shifting the auto loop. And then number 5, instead of asking how am I going to get 1 million likes? How do I get 200,000 diamonds? How do I do all of these kind of things? Instead of asking how, I'm just showing up. I'm becoming the how. I'm becoming the person that flows through. And that's the 5 steps. Hello, Lady Luck and 1886. Welcome back. Okay. And so that's the 5 steps. That's an example of how I'm doing it. If you want to know more about me, about the Aligned Soul world, about the Aligned Soul universe, about the assessment, just message me. I answer my messages. Give me a little time to go through all the messages, but I do answer my messages. And I'll get you the link to the Alignment Lab because it's going to go from $997 to $2,997 on probably Monday. Okay. I may have a TikTok special. I haven't decided yet. All right. Do you guys have any questions before I go? Because this is 2.5 hours of goodness. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to count it down. Thank you, everybody. Nurse, Eve, nobody. Thank you for being so vulnerable and telling us what you know what you get to do. Watch this, and you can watch it again on YouTube. So that you can remind yourself of what's possible for you. Okay, I told a lot of really good stories too. If you just came towards the end, just watch this on the YT channel and you'll be able to see the whole 2.5 hours. All right, anything else? All right, on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much, each and every one of you. Thank you for all of these hearts. I mean, wow. Let's see, God's beloved. I love that name. Say thank you so much. You are awesome. Have a wonderful day. You too, you too. Nobody says, okay, thank you. Mwah! Thank you so much. Thank you for the hearts and the roses and the populars. I mean, I just appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you. I don't know about tomorrow. I'll definitely see you on Monday, but maybe I'll see you tomorrow or Sunday. Love ya. Bye.